Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. We always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 517, non-resident alien trust information. Definitely want to appreciate you for, thank you for hitting the like, thank you for hitting the subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. We do pop-up episodes. We do episodes weekly. We have a workshop coming up here on the 23rd of September. Really looking forward to connecting with the families that are going to be in the room, individuals that are going to be in the room. It's always a pleasure to be in the environment with these individuals and be able to work with many different people. So it's going to be a great time, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to just continuously working with multiple families. And this episode in particular, non-resident alien trust information, once again has been brought to us by trustees, people enrolling in the training program. They bring us these questions. This was the question that we actually got within the past 24 hours. We're going to just address it with a compilation of information that has come to us throughout the years about this specific subject matter. We're not going to call this a private trust episode, but this is one of those episodes that when we see non-resident alien, these are just informations that we hear coming through the internet questions, and people think that it's private, and it's not necessarily private. And we're going to talk about that today, just because this is one of those things where we literally sat on the line with a family and they talked to it was either a lawyer or an accountant, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an accident. The reason why we do our podcast, the reason why we're able to stand the test of time is because we're the consultants that hold these lawyers and accountants accountable. When you're sitting in a room with them and they tell you some misinformation, and if the business owner, if the entrepreneur, if the investor doesn't know, then the lawyer's information is taken for gospel. So when we have had trustees come through in the past, when we've had mentors share with us that when you look at information, you're looking to cross reference the information and see where the truth lies. But the thing about it is, a lot of people are looking to transition into the private and they're looking at it from a public lens. They're looking at it from a public paradigm. And they have to be okay with saying, look, I have to submit myself as far as educationally to someone that is superior in the information based off of your research due diligence. Ladies and gentlemen, we've invested thousands of dollars with things that didn't come up of much, doesn't seem like it's turned into much. That's what an investment is, ladies and gentlemen. You're investing in your private education. You already have an education to go through life and be sufficient. Work a job, 2 weeks paycheck, all those good things. When we talk about transitioning into the private, we're having a conversation that requires building a team, thinking like the founders of the country in the respect of understanding that the country is founded on entrepreneurship and capitalism. So you're adopting those thought processes when you're engaging in this particular information. So we're going to go through quite a few of the questions that are along this line of thought, which is non-resident alien trust. This is not legal advice, not financial advice. We're having a conversation with the public about the things that we have people reach out to us in the private about. And these are things that people are thinking in the public. They come from the public. They're asking us questions. They ask us, well, what about this non-resident alien trust information? What about this being on, what about this form? And estate form. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we could easily pull up many forms and things of that nature. But we're sitting on the line with a trustee. Trustee says whether it was a professional lawyer or a professional accountant, it's something that we get trustees that come to us all the time and say, well, one accountant said this and the other accountant said that. Or the one lawyer said this and the other lawyer said that. Very important to be aware how to navigate these individuals. So let's talk about it. Navigate these individuals, the professionals that are saying, yeah, if you're in a foreign trust, private trust, it's a non-resident alien trust information. Once again, it's not legal advice or financial advice. But we're going to share with you all something that makes the vault worth diamonds, let alone its weight in gold. So we're sitting there talking to the trustee and we say, did you get the EIN number for the entity? Yeah, you said it was a private trust or international trust, whatever it is, right? Right. So did you get the EIN number in the mail? Yeah, I got it in the mail. What form on there does it tell you to fill out? If in case you have to fill out something. Oh, trustee reads over this document. Should have read it over. Should have read over when they originally got it. Maybe they did. They just didn't see it. They're new into the environment. No worries. They looked at the doc. We told them to go back to the EIN doc. They looked at the doc and told them what form to fill out. So then it also went against the professional's information that they gave them. The professional lawyer or accountant told them some information that was very inaccurate. It wasn't rocket science. We at the vault provide clear communication towards what you're engaging in, and so when everything's backed by the law. It's got to be backed by the law. It's not trust Christian in the vault's word. It's the law's word. If you can't stand on the law, then you know you're gonna have some problems. So then when we come in contact with many people once again that have these questions, and we're gonna go through them. The first question that we got, or one of the questions that we got, and that's why the importance of this episode is non-resident alien trust information. So there was this whole conversation that this trustee had with some professional that said, well, if it's what someone told you, what the vault may have told you, was it accurate? Well, if that was the case, okay, we're not saying that it has to be the gospel or advice. Once again, we just directed them to the document that they filled out to get the EIN that the accountant or the lawyer or whoever literally said was not accurate. How's it not accurate? And the authorities that person's gonna have to answer to told them what to fill out, and now you're telling them something different. That's how you know the professional doesn't know what they're talking about. So you have to be okay with that, trustees. A lot of trustees go through the trustee training program. We remember one trustee. They were actually around this time of the year, August, September, and they were looking to change their LLC from an S corp back to an LLC because that's just the way it is. So they went to their accountant and they said, we need you to switch it back. The accountant literally, whether they want to call it the truth or what it is, it's called a lie if it's not accurate. It is what it is. It's okay. But they told the trustee that they couldn't switch a classification during the year, during the business year, and that's not accurate. How is that accurate? Ladies and gentlemen, if you bring on someone into your company, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're going to report that, you are going to update records. Things are going to change. So how is that not applicable? It's basically a professional either not having experience doing these type of things, period. Because what would make them say to you, don't update the records for the company? Because they don't know how to do it. They never did it. Maybe they did it and they didn't do it well. But clearly, every company has adjustments throughout the year. If you got to make adjustments, it's good to update the authorities. So we've had trustees come back and say, oh, well, got in contact with this professional, whoever it is, and they told me that I could not update my company records during the year. Okay. That was very inaccurate because we encouraged the trustee to call the authorities. They called the authorities and they told them it's always best to update the records immediately. Put them on notice. So we definitely gonna make it a point to bring an accountant, most likely an enrolled agent. We actually had a trustee ask about an enrolled agent. Like, well, what's the advantage of having an enrolled agent around? Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's not created equal when it comes to everything. It's just what it is. Some people are really good at dunking a basketball. Okay, everybody is not good at uh, deciphering information or knowing. They don't know everything. No one knows everything. So when we come in contact with professionals, it's always good to get multiple opinions. We had a trustee come on the line about a week ago, and the trustee says, "Oh yeah, I went to this lawyer and they told me this, and I went to another lawyer and they told me this, and they were different." And it's like, well, if they're giving you conflicting information, this is the only thing we're thinking in our head. So cool. When they finish telling you what you decided or what you think's not going to work, then the next question is, uh, what was the next question? Oh, did they sell their services to you? Did they attempt to sell their services to you? Did they, all these things? And then the trustee immediately follows up. Oh yeah, they were trying to get me on retainer. Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, if you're engaging with a lawyer or accountant and they can't do their job, clearly it could be an easy have a great day. But instead, we see some of these professionals just sitting here telling people, "Oh man, you can't do this, you can't do that." Next thing you know, they go to another accountant, another lawyer, whoever. "Oh man, you can't do this, you can't do that." Well, Is it illegal or you just can't do it? And a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, no professional is going to tell you that they can't get something done. So that's why at the vault, we've made it a point. People have reached out for years. We brought on a third generation trustee, have done an interview with this individual, and they're in the whole situation. Literally, our best two episodes outside of Sophia Stewart's and a bunch of other episodes, our episode with our private securities exchange lawyer. This lady is an Olympic athlete, ladies and gentlemen. This lady has a really good track record in business, and people reach out all the time about securities, and we tell them to reach out to her. She's in trust. Do they reach out to her? Because they understand they're not fully aware that they're not able to have a full conversation with someone about these securities that they heard over the internet that you can just create paper out of thin air. You're not the government. Like, you're not even the Federal Reserve. If you're not the Federal Reserve, you're not gonna just be able to print money out of thin air. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. If somebody doesn't agree with it, it's fine. The people that are okay with it, we deal with those people. It's okay. You cannot just create. It's not even that we're saying you can't. We encourage the trustees that have come to us throughout the years, people that have reached to us throughout the years, people that have come to us many times and have talked about whether it's this note, this security, trying to securitize their birth certificate or otherwise. Reach out to the securities exchange lawyer that we have. Bam. So then we go to one of our more popular episodes. It's the episode with the enrolled agent. The enrolled agent literally goes over the best practices. She goes over the facts, ladies and gentlemen. This is somebody that literally can stand before you in court as an enrolled agent. She has her information on her website. She has a legitimate company, and it's a national company actually, but home based in Georgia. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dealing with high net worth investors, so we definitely want to make it a point to say, hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to go back and go out and check the what is it? Go out and check the track record of the individuals that we brought on to the vault. We're going to continue to bring these people into the room. Very, very important. We're going to bring people into the room, ladies and gentlemen, especially at this next workshop. And we're talking about accountants, not anything else, ladies and gentlemen, because uh, it just seems as though a lot of people are being given misinformation, and those are things that can cost you at times, ladies and gentlemen. It really can. It's so important to let's see. It's so important to find quality professionals, ladies and gentlemen. We sat around, uh, once again, we sat around someone the other day, told them that they told us, hey, this lawyer said that this can't be done or that can't be done. And we're like, well, did they show you the law for that? Ladies and gentlemen, if a lawyer is a lawyer, why would they not be able to show you the law? Why would they not be able to show you the law? It just it just makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. It really doesn't. But we also understand that that's how life is. That's how business works. People reach out to us all the time and they ask these questions, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what are we going to do about the accounting and things of that nature? And we'll talk to them and say, hey, look, you're gonna find someone that can do it, or you're gonna make sure that someone can do it. That's it. Oh man, I don't want to have to go through the numbers. First of all, everybody's not engaged in the private. All lawyers, all accountants. So when you're engaging people, just be aware that they may or may not know. We'll see. We'll hear trustees come on the line. We're very specific when we talk to them. Say, "Oh yeah, I talked to this lawyer and they're private." It's like, well, okay, are they in trusteeship? Are they in private trusteeship? And then they say no. It's like, well, how do you think that this person has as much information as you about something that you know and they clearly are not doing? See, the difference about the vaults training, it's a lifestyle. The lawyer's selling you a car. You buy the car, you leave a lot, don't come back until you need maintenance. They don't unless they upselling you. There is no, hey, we want to make sure that you're sophisticated. We want to build something around you. We want to build a relationship. No, they work for you, remember? So you're building that relationship. You're building those relationships with quality lawyers, with quality accountants, and going through the numbers. Then we got trustees coming to us once again with this non-resident alien thing. Oh man, it doesn't have to file. Clearly, something has to file. We've had trustees for years say things don't have to file. If things don't have to file, why would they send you a form in the mail and then they'll literally tell you the EIN and what form is supposed to file? But it's foreign. It's 9-8. It's 92. It's a whatever, a 40, whatever. Okay. But they sent you a document in the mail and you're in agreement to it. Right? Well, this is what they say. I don't want to mess up. If you don't want to mess up, we find competent team members. We get so many people that say, oh, I do it myself. I do it myself. Ladies and gentlemen, even in trusteeship, it's good to have other trustees working with you. It's good to have counsel outside of the trust the trustee should have counsel at all times. So that means you definitely have a lawyer. Well, they call lawyers sometimes, and then maybe the lawyer's a little upset that they're not the person that got them engaged in this information. Perfectly fine. The lawyer may not make as much money off of fees. They may get consulted at a different rate. Why? Because it's less work needed. They don't need to be there to manage your family estate the entire time. They don't need to manage the family estate. You're managing the family estate traditionally when trustees go through our training program, but at the same time, hey, some people may want to parse that off to others, and we work with trustees to actually do so, to be able to find additional people that can help them pretty much figure out, all the details, ins and outs as far as, the team member. Just putting together a team, ladies and gentlemen. You got to put together a team. And that's something that we've seen trustees run into. That's why we still do our workshops, is to have an environment that you can see that there is a team in place. So just know at this next workshop, we're most likely going to have a accountant in the room, and we're pushing for an enrolled agent. So it's no more gray areas that we can keep sitting over the internet talking about. We've actually done an interview with an enrolled agent, so there is no, how do we know it's this and how do we know it's that? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can call these people and deal with these people yourselves. Though there are a few people that we actually have in the public that are in the public running successful companies, and they're telling you, hey, this is what we do. We're not okaying what Trust Christian Involve's doing. We're just saying, look, these are things that yes, you can do, because they're talking directly to you. They're not talking about Trust Christian Involve. They're talking about you and what you can do and what you're looking to do and things of that nature. Bottom line. So we definitely look forward to working with you all and doing so. We look forward to it. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com for the workshop. This is definitely going to be a blast. This is one of those ones where you got to be in the room once again. It always comes down to being in the room. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listening, replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Don't get caught into the foolery over the internet. Get not necessarily multiple opinions, but quality professional opinions. It's interesting. People don't even know that there's levels to accounting. Oh, wow, should I go to a charter accounting? Well, the higher level education, quote unquote, or the experience level based off of questions, you can find out what someone is able to execute. It's just one of those things where most people, they're not able to find those people because they're not in the public. They don't want to be bothered. They want to deal with high net worth investors, people that are going to pay them their fees. That's all it comes down to. Sometimes they don't want to share the information because they don't want you to have the information, because they rather for their family to have the information because they've already put the information to use and started working with it. This non-resident alien trust information. Ladies and gentlemen, go look at the EIN document they sent you in the mail and let's see, do they call it what people may have called it themselves? Are you compliant? Here we go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's interesting to see, or it's definitely disheartening to see actually the misinformation that's being given over the internet, when the vault has to cross-check it with the law. The vault has to make sure that you can stand on the law, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with families. We're dealing with the law. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Please and thank you for hitting the like and the subscribe button if you haven't already done it. We look forward to hearing from you all. We look forward to seeing you at the workshop. Feel free to reach out, get a consultation, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Get enrolled in the training. Look forward to seeing you at the workshop. Peace.